Alright folks, we are back and we are going to stick with following Lillekanin to his next series versus Reynor, another Zerg player, but a very, very good Zerg player. And this will be a best of 3 that starts on New Gettysburg, which you could really argue could be in the favor of either player. If Lillekanin can find a way to turtle up and get to 4 bases safely, even taking that island base, I like New Gettysburg for the Terran. If Reynor can find a way to get aggressive, use Ravagers and Roaches and whatnot early, then this is proven by time not a bad map for Zerg either. Alternatively, Lillekanin may just proxy a couple Raxes and 2 Reapers. Let's not forget, that's always the best.
You could actually Marine proxy.
That too. We've actually
this map, so
it's not just this map, but I was watching like it's like a couple between streamers and the few games we've cast. Marines seem to be coming back into fashion a bit. I'm still not convinced that like 4 or 5 racks proxied Marines are any good, but some people are. We'll see what ends up happening. It might not be any of those things at all. But folks, to kick off this cast, in the bottom right side, we've got the Green Terran player. It's Lillekanin.
the bottom left as the pink Zerg, he is Reynor.
And I almost forgot to hit the add button. I am so rusty.
Good catch.
That's stream delay though. Anyways, Reynor, we've talked about a couple of times. We've been catching him more and more lately. He is the younger player, as we like to constantly remind people. I think like 16 or 17. He's been playing the game for like 3 years at that, so you got to consider like how long or how young he was when he first started playing. Regardless though, Grandmaster pretty regularly, competes in these tournaments. He made a big splash. I think it was like a DreamHack, and everyone was like, wait a minute, who's this guy? But of course, we've been casting him for a while, so we know that he's no complete newcomer at least. But he is, I'd say, a modicum better than Happy Zerg. No disrespect. Again, love Happy Zerg. Super happy to see him back. But this is a guy who's been regularly training, practicing, and improving, and I think this will be a lot tougher of a series for Lillekanin.
It should be, yeah. Reynor is not super consistent yet. Like when you see, I guess, sometimes the people he beats, it's not super consistent. He's not beating them all the time or anything like that. So he is really an up-and-comer. So I can't say that he'll always beat Lillekanin. Or even that he has beat Lillekanin. I don't know if they faced each other before. Huh. I don't think they have. But anyway, Lillekanin, I want to say that he's pretty damn consistent. Like, it's not amazing consistent. Like, he's not beating TLO and Snoot all the time, right? But when I look at the bracket, I could probably pinpoint exactly when Lillekanin's gonna fall out in a Corsair Cup, for instance. But not for Reynor. I actually think Reynor's still kind of up in the air for me. So I'll see how he faces against the stylings that is Lillekanin. This guy's weird. Already, I think he scouted for those proxy racks, so he's clearly played against this guy before, in some form.
I like that he puts that depot down. It's such a small detail, and we don't see everybody do it. And I guess it could cost you depot, maybe supply block you at a crucial moment, blah, blah, blah. But I think just forcing people to go a long way around the map is always going to make that worthwhile.
Yeah, of course. Also does that little bit of notice, too, because the thing is about the supply depot is that if you're all-inning, you can still all-in. Like, you send roaches and link through the middle of the map. It doesn't take that long to kill the supply depot, but it is that little bit of notice that could save you SCVs in the natural, for instance, if you pull them immediately. It's just a nice thing to have. But Reynor is going to want to get some scouting, like real scouting here, and that's what the Overlord Suicide is for.
Yeah, it'll be a nice pickoff, though. A small supply block, but 3 more on the way, so it won't be for too long.
Yeah. It's kind of sucky, though, that he didn't get to see exactly what Lillekanin was doing. I mean, yesterday. Last game, we saw that he went for the Cyclone Blue Flame Hellion build, which he does a lot on Frost, so that might just be a map for Frost. A build for Frost. But to not see anything else is just, it's really, like, Lillekanin could be proxying a starport somewhere. It would have been really nice to have seen that it was in fact in the base on a reactor, nonetheless. That I guess he's gonna have to just react as well as possible. I thought it was gonna be Liberators. Apparently, it's Medevacs.
But
huh.
By the way, totally unrelated. I love that you and I both replied to that Reddit thread, the same comment with the exact same response.
Nailed it.
Hive mind, man. It's that sympathy sickness. I'm telling you.
What's up?
Now, while a lot of scouting was denied, one thing that was revealed was Lillekanin does have a fair amount of Marines out. To come this boldly across the map to hope that these Lings will get him a quick, easy win is perhaps a bit silly. But if he catches him as he picks up, oh, this could be bad. He's got to turn around. All his Marines are in these medevacs. Wouldn't mind included. He's on the wrong side of the depots to be unloading these. He realizes this too.
Yeah. He could pick up the SCVs in the medevac once it's unloaded.
I would like that. I would like to see that a lot, actually.
Oh, okay, just saves him the old-fashioned way, brings him to the Marines. This isn't working out so
no,
bad.
Oh
no! Yeah, he realized that too and just didn't lift it.
So that was the problem with them all being clumped up in one spot like that. And then while 8 SCVs may have died, actually a few more go down because it doesn't show friendly fire on the kill counter, guys. So if someone's quick enough to do math, you can find out that that was probably closer to like 14 or 15. Either way, not a great way to start to what was purely Lings.
Wait.
Timing worked out a little bit favorably for him as well.
Are you sure? I think the kill counter does.
Oh, you know what? They may have updated because units lost. Yeah, you're right. So that's actually 9 was killed down here, but 4 on the units lost. So yeah, it was 5. Yo, how sick was my guess, by the way? 9 to 14, 4 to 9. That 5 count. Anyways, point is, that's cool for something that's updated. Secondly, though, point still stands. This was just purely Lings, hitting at a very unfortunately lucky timing. So this just did not go well for Lillekanin. He's going to rush across the map, try and get some counterattack damage, but Overlords are all over the place. They see this coming. Reynor shouldn't find himself too caught off guard by this, although the Lings aren't responding right away. They really should be.
There you go. That was some seriously nice damage, though. Like, Lillekanin, this attack wasn't even very strong to begin with, and to, like, take damage beforehand, not only in the worker kill count, but also he lost some of the Marines. And take a medevac drop. Like, I would say that's a pretty devastating effect on his opener. He's now really lost the control. I mean, imagine if everything is going, like, swimmingly for this guy. He does the double drop, everything from Reynor's back at home. You know, his third base could have been on location, because he can be kind of risky like that. And he just feel a lot more comfortable. But now it is like one medevac drop, trying to do a lot of scouting, trying to scare Reynor into not droning, which he already has really done. The one thing that's come from this, I suppose, is that the lair probably could have been like a tiny bit quicker, but it's not even that late of a lair, so that's not even a big of a deal, I would say.
He's making Reynor dance, by the way. A lot of focus around the Marines, but also that Liberator got to the main. It killed the Queen. Unfortunately, with the medevac going down, though, that will take away a significant amount of pressure. This Liberator also goes down quite, just barely not getting that Queen. And I applaud Lillekanin's efforts for damage. He didn't really devastate Reynor. Unfortunately, barely touched the drones. You know, 8 died, but there's still 66 in play.
Whoa. How did the Queen not die? Yeah, that was like an okay attempt at doing damage, but it really didn't make up for what the game looks like. I don't know what those drones are doing.
This almost looks like changelings, right? You'd almost wonder, like, wait, what are these coming to my base for? I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Lillekanin, like, he was for 4th base in his main base. I just don't...
I think this is fine as playing mech, but it is unfortunate because he can do much with it.
I don't think so. Like, everyone always says that it, you know, mech is gas dependent, which technically it is more so than anything else, but we've seen time and time again mech players in Legacy of the Void have a significant mineral problem very early on in the game. Well, like, it's not so easy to make missile turret ranks in a 4th command center.
That's actually a point I would entirely agree with, and that's why I think the 4th command center is better. Because first off, you're also he's still feeling the effects of that earlier game damage. I forgot we actually have graphs. Hello, BaseTradeTV graphs. But also the fact that this 4th command center will give him that extra mule. And more to the point, if he's really feeling up to it, he can fly over to the island and have a secure 4th early on, opposed to like other normal maps where this wouldn't even be an option.
I like the island consideration, and that's probably why he did it. Is that he knew he could have a 4th base that is very secure. Against ground, that is. But I was just like looking at it because he wasn't able to use any of his production. So he's actually pretty far, like, I guess now eventually he's about to use his production. And Reynor's not swelling with units quite yet, despite banking quite a few minerals.
Oh, he's not going for the island.
Oh. Well, then I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. There's Reynor's swell and supply, because now he's getting roaches, and we'll have a couple of upgrades on them. And that was just time that Lillekanin wasn't using his 5 factories that I got, because he went for a 4th command center. That's 4 factories.
Wait, 4? Where's the... Oh, over here. Okay, yeah. Ha!
It's supposed to be on 5.
It's putting still at 5s too. But yeah, he's getting the tanks out now. I guess he's had a bit Despite the fact that his damage didn't do a lot, it did do enough to keep Reynor from really getting a huge army, but still 90 to 30 when it comes to that army supply. I mean, one could argue that roaches are inflated supply, but I would just argue that upgrades combined with just massive amounts of any units are going to be better for him. This planetary won't be done. He'll have to lift this. Any amount of units he dedicates to defend with are just units he'll have less available to a bigger army that if he pulls back, if he backs away from this, gives up this base, lifts up, goes to the island, anything else other than try and defend this base, he might be okay. But if he tries to take an actual fight, he just simply doesn't have the numbers for it, even if there were siege tanks on the back line of this.
Reynor is missing Ravagers, so this Liberator's going to get some free damage, which is always nice, but is it really enough? It's one Liberator.
Yeah,
Just walk past it.
It kills like 2 roaches.
That means the planetary will finish, and that'll be hard to break with just the base tech that Reynor has.
Sure enough.
But if he can just go around it, then I guess it doesn't matter.
I guess you set those Liberators here on the 3rd. Use the planetary to defend this base, tanks to defend this base, and he might not be too bad for it, but it's still a terrible spot to be in.
It's a very scary situation, but like if Reynor's not going to kill him here, Lillekanin's going to be able to benefit from the 4 bases, which is where like this whole thing was in question. Like, can he actually afford to defend all of his bases? So he kind of needs, I would say, to kill this base or permanently deny the 3rd base. And okay, at least he kills this one.
A lot of these roaches are low, but the problem is he's not going to get the kills on them. And as they back away, Burrow's researching. He can burrow those. He can turn them into Ravagers. He's got multiple ways to heal these to full and make them completely effective units all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's also not forget, Hive Tech has just begun, so regardless, one way or another, a clock of some variety is ticking. And well, Broodlords didn't seem to even scare Lillekanin last game versus Happy Zerg. I think this time around, they're going to be a lot tougher to deal with. He won't have the luxury of getting Thors and Vikings out like he did before.
Mm-hmm. And that's... He's gonna have like really no anti-air. Cyclones! Okay, 1v1 to Broodlord, whatever, but that's not really ever supposed to happen. And there's still enough ground fodder for Reynor too. He's like actually gonna surround these aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see that so often.
I like the idea. Lillekanin wanted to get around the roaches. He wanted to get across the map and perhaps hurt his opponent a little bit when it comes to that mineral line, but not really a lot left behind it. You know, even if lots of turrets come down and there's 5 to even, we'll say 8 Cyclones, being a bit generous on this, I don't think he can deal with the roaches and the mutas.
Yeah, it is interesting to see him go for mutas, though, but I guess it's something to keep control. He's not exactly low on cash, so he's still going to be able to afford to go to a greater spire. But I don't think he's going to be going into too many more mutas. I wouldn't think. Well, the harassment from Lillekanin is very small indeed. A couple of Hellions off to the left, a good number of Hellions off to the right here, but they're going to be right underneath the mutas, so that's a waste.
By the way, side note, I said this in chat before the stream started today, and we're getting close to that number. At 1,000 viewers, guys, I've still got a Twitch turbo code and 3 Heroes of the Storm skins to give away. So we'll do some raffles in chat, probably after this game, I would guess, by the looks of things.
Okay. Cool stuff.
Tanks getting picked off, though. I mean, the mutas don't even care. They're getting shut down by the Cyclones. I think Reynor knows with 5 bases, with 74 drones, he can afford to replace these. Lillekanin, however, can't really afford to replace anything, and with him sacrificing the mutas and trading out for the tanks, that gives the roaches free reign to get into these bases. Tanks get taken out, nothing left to shoot these roaches, and this game is going to come down to this fight. GG.
GG. Nicely done by Reynor, but a lot of that had to do with the opener going so poorly, I'll say, for Lillekanin.
Yeah, I would agree. Anyways, let's see. These codes I have are 2 for Stormlord Falstad and 1 for like Chef Stitches. I got these at the Heroes of the Storm event at PAX, and then I have 1 last Twitch Turbo code to give away to somebody to have and enjoy a month of Twitch Turbo for. I also have a stack of these Drop Zone closed beta keys. I've been meaning to check out the game. I was watching it a lot at PAX. I thought it looked really cool. So that's going to be more stuff we can give away too. Finally, a way for you guys to use your Partoofs is what I've been saying. But before you dump all of them into such interesting prizes that we have here, I want to remind you guys, next month, ideally, we should be doing some more Corsair giveaways. So like, you know, a headset per broadcast or a keyboard per broadcast, something like that is what I would like to, what we're trying to work towards. So, yeah, make sure don't spend all your Partoofs, at least, on raffle tickets. But next map, already being hosted by the wonderful Zombie Grub. What do we got here? Frozen Temple.
Yeah, much smaller map and a little bit more direct too. So maybe he'll be more aggressive with some Reapers, or
do you think
more aggressive mech build?
Do you think? Oh, I've got a lobby bug. I'm just gonna read log real quick. You know,
Okay.
this happened because I think I tried to real ID as you invited me. I'm wondering if that's what caused it. Because this happened last time too, and I did the exact same thing. Anyways, I was gonna say though, do you think the chances of cheese increase with a loss on that first game? I mean, it's Lucius' pick, right? So he got to choose the map. Maybe now he's thinking Reapers.
I think so. Yeah.
There's this degree to ask though, like, is that too obvious though, right?
Right, exactly. Because I was gonna like we could think about like, you know, if X does Y and then Y does Z, well, Z didn't expect B and B didn't expect, like, we could like Death Note it all day, but we don't know Lillekanin. And that's always the problem.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, Death Noting it is the best like adjective.
It is.
Okay?
I agree. There's no better way to describe that situation, but unfortunately, I don't know if 100% of our audience are weeaboos who fully appreciate.
They're going to learn, okay? I've definitely used this like a couple of times already, and they're gonna learn through time, all right? They're gonna be able to use it themselves.
If only Light did. Anyways, I'm gonna start a raffle as we get into the game, guys. This will be for the we'll say Stormlord Falstad skin. So if you guys play Heroes of the Storm, this is a free skin. Or if you don't play, either way. Let me just get this set up real quick.
Alrighty then.
It's so difficult. Stormlord Falstad.
Nice.
Alright. What are we humming?
Am I supposed to do the introductions?
No, I'm almost good. Alright, raffle started. We did it.
Okay.
Alright, if you guys don't know how this works, just type exclamation raffle space help in chat, and I'll let you know what's going on. But it is game 2 in the best of 3 for the Corsair Cup. Quick shoutouts to Corsair, sponsors of the tournament, sponsors of BaseTradeTV. Awesome people making this happen for what has got to be like, hang on, so December, January, February, March, April, May, June. This is like 8 months or so? 9 months?
A long time.
Almost a year. We're getting closer to a year is my point. So shoutouts to Corsair. Thank you for investing in StarCraft 2. Spawning in the bottom right side though, but not entirely in the bottom right side. It is going to be the green Terran player, Lillekanin.
In the top left as the pink Zerg, he is Reynor.
Now this is interesting the way he's done this. They're not exactly next to each other. So the downside is you can't count on the barracks and the, I guess, positioning to stop a drone scout from picking like the SCV off as it's building. But you also don't guarantee that, you know, surround on this SCV gets to this other one in time. It's a minor detail, but it's an interesting one, and I'm wondering if that's been factored in or not. Now, we talked about the potential Marines earlier. It's not going to be Marines. He's going 4 racks deep with Reapers, which likely means a 5th racks is due as well. But this Overlord, it might actually move out of position before it gets to scout this. If Lillekanin waits, like...
Possibly.
If he waits like 3 or 4 seconds, there's a chance that Overlord doesn't see anything. But unfortunately, he rallies forward, so that should be a pretty big red flag for Reynor.
Yeah, well, you know, Reynor is already kind of prepping for a situation like this. Just whenever you see a Zerg player go for a pool first, especially on such a popular Reaper map like Frozen Temple, it's because they think that it's possible. It's going to have Lings faster, Queen faster, the ability to get Spine Crawlers faster if that is the way they want to go, although usually we see a fast Roachworn follow this up. Occasionally on any other map, the early pool, or the pool first rather, would just be so they can get the Lings across the map, but that's a very different situation for different maps. This is almost always defensively. So Reynor mentally was prepared for this even before he got the scout off, but he still not be very good against it. Like, some Zergs are still tripped up by this.
Right, we're seeing a couple of different things. We've talked many times about Roaches being an automatic response. There's some players like Tealo and Snoot who insist on like slow links versus speed links. But I think at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about what you're thinking of or even like mind gaming how to deal with it. Ooh, nice pick up there. It is about actual control and reaction to this. Dodging the Reaper grenades is huge. Getting that first one was nice. Now, unfortunately, they're up on the high ground, but the Queen's getting to shoot them. This is going badly for Lillekanin. This is going very bad. This is game over badly. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm really surprised this went so badly. Lillekanin just staying in the main a little bit too long, getting Actually killed by Lings is never really supposed to happen.
No, I mean,
ideally.
I liked what he was doing there with the bunkers. I like the idea of trying to get this on the front lines, but unfortunately, now Lillekanin playing defense a bit, not just in terms of at home, but also across the map. Shout out to Sasha Austin, Melius Pro, and Rooks1. Thank you all for your massive resubs. But yeah, there's no SCVs repairing the depots. It might have become a little bit late. One SCV is not going to cut it.
No, it's not. I guess with the Reaper around, and there's, I don't know what that was, but there's no more committal on it with Lings from Reynor. But Reynor, the other problem that sometimes happens is that they over-defend, and even though they clean up all the Reapers, they're still in a bad spot because they're third and like only at 15 drones, something like that. He very quickly, like once he surrounded those Reapers, he made 7 drones like instantly, I want to say. So he recognized that he got a good situation going and is not in that situation, like in that little area of, okay, I might have defended, but I'm not in a great economical position. Whereas sometimes you see the Terran player even have, 2 more command centers already. Lillekanin with 4-axing like he does, I think he's gone for like an extra command center once because it was like this huge siege and his bunker got up. But even that wasn't. It was almost like, well, I had the minerals for it, so I guess so he wasn't even planning on using it. So an economic game is not something Lillekanin is looking for, and Reynor hopefully doesn't die because he's expecting that, so many other Terran players will go for the macro game and be getting stim at this point, whereas Lillekanin is just getting 4 more Reapers.
I mean, we're past the point where I think the Reapers have a chance to win the game. But the reality of this, what Reapers bring to the party is all it does is take like one really good engagement for Lillekanin and one really terrible engagement from Reynor for him to actually snowball to a point where he can fight again. At least until Roaches are out. Roaches are a little bit more A-movie. Lings still take a fair amount of control. Same with those Queens. Jumping up to the high ground, perhaps a bit of a mistake.
I think it's 1 shot down.
Oh, this isn't good.
Should never get a decent surround, I guess is the way to
Everybody
say it.
dance! Hit the floor!
Like right there, that was actually a decent surround. It's really hard to get those perfect grenades. I'm not saying that Lillekanin is screwing up here, but...
That's just difficult, you're right. GG gets called. And it looks like Reynor will be the one to take this series 2-0. Move on to the brackets.
Yeah, just kind of slapping Lillekanin down right there.
Yeah, he'll go on to fight against either B-Lord or Tails next. Bottom side's got possibly Guru versus Nerdchill. While I don't normally get excited for ZvZs, that could be a good one, actually. Funk currently playing against Alive. Keen versus Nefaste. We'll see what goes on here soon, guys. But we are going to go to a commercial break, so do stick around. I thank you guys for watching, and when we come back from the commercials, we'll pick the winner of the raffle giveaway. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you in a few minutes.